And Mayor Pro Tem, would you like to move the
I actually have. I actually have.
I wanted to have the last word.
All right.
Like Joe beat me.
Okay, well, no, we'll let Joe speak, and then you can have the last
Same
word.
thing.
How's that?
3 hours and 50 minutes left. You better.
I won't be that long. Come on. Since Bill had lightened the atmosphere, I feel much more comfortable to talk. So thank you, Bill, for doing that and coming up and talking. I guess I'm struck by a few things, and I just want to kind of point them out. The first thing is that, what Mayor Pro Tem Watts is talking about. I think that, it's a frustration that you hear a lot. SB 375 and AB 32 and all the other state mandates that are going to come down that are going to force us to live in a certain type of way. I completely, that's my frustration, and that's the frustration of many local officials throughout the state of California, that's not the proper way to go. If the goal is to have some sort of balance in terms of housing and jobs, and also having people commute less and living closer to where they work and where they play and eat and so forth and so on, the goal to reach that goal, it's not a mandate, but it's an incentive. There are plenty of communities out there in this state that will step up and do what's necessary to reach those goals if there are incentives to reach those goals. Cities like Pasadena, other cities that will actually wholeheartedly accept this, and that it makes sense because they live near transit corridors or something like that. For cities like Sierra Madre that are off the transit corridor, where we don't have a freeway, where we don't have a rail way going through us, it doesn't make sense to have any more housing, and to mandate it on a city like Sierra Madre doesn't make any bit of sense, and to do that only basically puts the state in a situation where it won't actually reach its goals, because the pendulum will swing the other way. Another observation, and something I'm struck by, is that I think that we're all on the same page here. I think that we're all saying the same thing, but that we're coming at it from different points of view. And I think what Councilman Buchanan and Mayor Pro Tem Don Watts is saying is something that you hear throughout the region, and it's actually they're actually agreeing with each other, but coming at it from different points of view. And this is what I mean, that they're both talking about preserving our community, preserving the small town community that we have. But John is talking about the preservation of the community means that we're still receiving, we're still being able to deliver certain services that make this community a charming community, and that we're receiving funds from the state, and we're receiving other funds that allow us to continue to provide services that make this a great community, and that if with these numbers, that it's not a it's not a zero-sum game. You push on one side and another side is going to be pushed out, and so I think that there's some validity to what Councilman Buchanan is saying, is that we should be cognizant of the fact that if we push too hard on one side, you're going to have another unintended consequence on another side in terms of funding for services that and anything from just in the time that I've been on council, grants for the Milton Goldberg Park to MTA bus line. Yes, the MTA bus line, the roundabout service, all that is based on some of these grant money. So that's something to think about. Also, in terms of what Don is saying, we should be as conservative as possible in terms of these numbers and trying to, and presenting a picture to the SCAG, because their numbers don't make sense anyway, so we should present a number that is as conservative as possible. Yeah, I mean, in terms of trying to get as low numbers as possible, it may be in our best interest to put together something that's conservative but also makes sense and is defensible, and we can say, okay, this is the reason why, and I think the staff has done a good job of doing this, this is the reason why these numbers make sense. But I'd also say, together, since we are all on the same page, together, that we should engage the process, because and that's what we're doing right now, and I think the Mayor Pro Tem have been helping, and this is making a huge difference, because there's only so many communities so far that have actually engaged SCAG with some of these numbers. So we are incredibly proactive, and we need to continue to be as proactive as we are, because the process is just beginning. And when we were proactive with arena numbers, we saw a reduction. And if we're going to be proactive with this, we will see a reduction, and we will see something that makes sense for our community. So the observation is that we're all on the same page, and if we engage the process as we are now and continue to engage the process, we will see numbers that make sense for our community.
Councilmember Zimmerman, I'm sure